Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 10. Pattern. Have you developed a pattern yet? Have you started developing a pattern of inking every day? A healthy sketching pattern? I don't know. So today's prompt, I was going to do a pattern, but then I thought that I would actually really like to think about a sort of synesthesia kind of integration of the senses, maybe. I don't know. I just really thought of the pattern that waves make and the pattern of sound that waves make, and I just got really inspired. And it's whale season in South Africa, in Cape Town at least, and although this is not a southern right whale, it's technically a humpback whale. I really liked its profile, so I thought, yeah, we'll just give a shout out to some whales. Hello. Yeah. Anyway, so every time you see me taking the picture away and putting it back in, it's because it has undergone a very special hair drying session with my hair dryer. I don't have a heat tool. I'm not classy like that. I just have a hairdryer, which works just as well. You just need to be careful because if you have a very liquidy surface, it can give you some really cool but very unsolicited little paint splatter like patterns. Speaking of patterns, I guess. Anyway, so that's, user error and buyer beware. Or non-buyer beware, I guess. But yeah, so basically I just went in and did a whole bunch of glazing. So the first part of the video kind of got lost in translation. I'm not really sure where that went, but speaking of patterns, that's not an unusual pattern of behavior for me to lose important things. So yeah, we'll work on one thing at a time. So I basically just did a whole wash in a completely different direction than I was going to do the final piece in. So you can see now I'm moving my brush in a landscape direction. So before I had I was doing it sort of in a portrait direction, I don't know, a vertical direction, and now I'm going horizontal, however you want to interpret it. But yeah, and then I put masking fluid on, and then I had to let it dry for like a bajillion years, and somehow that footage got lost in the bajillion years that I was waiting for the masking fluid to dry. So basically now I'm just putting different little lines of a mix of the blue, purple and green ink over each other, and you just need to be really careful to make sure that you dry it between each layer, like properly. Like if you touch the paper and it's cool to touch, just play it safe and just dry it some more. And with this, I don't know, like with watercolor, sometimes you want the ink, the watercolor to dry naturally because it gives it a nice, it gives it a nice look. But with the ink, it's actually quite nice to use the hairdryer or a heat tool because it then doesn't reactivate the bottom layers as much, so that you can still get these awesome lines, but the ink is really nice and transparent, so you get like really nice depth in this. And then basically I had some very wobbly footage of me removing the masking fluid. It went really well, as you can see like in this final piece. It just came off so beautifully, and I was so happy. And you can see that sort of vertical alignment of the ink that I used previously. And then I just decided, you see there's that little triangle just above the whale's back. I thought that when you're doing a painting, it's really important to have high contrast where you want the eye to look. And I felt that the highest contrast was the whale's body and that one piece that seemed to be from the original inking process. So I went over it once more just to get rid of that, so that the highest point of contrast would be the whale, and that would get everyone's attention. So I hope that you're building healthy patterns. I hope that you had fun today, And if you are doing Inktober, good luck and well done. And remember that you are more than welcome to link anything that you do to me somehow. If you're doing it on Instagram, you can tag me at no new pens. So I hope you have a good day, and I love you lots. And if you had fun, like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.